Libra. So I first want to go over some of the main planets that will be with you throughout the year. For instance, Uranus will be in your eighth house of joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans. This could create situations where you will see possibly abrupt changes in your income, uh, possibly maybe regarding taxes, credit issues. If you're going through a divorce, sometimes you might see these financial issues during times like that. Maybe you gain financially through bonuses, commissions, other financial opportunities there. So it just kind of depends what's going on. Now, the negative, and I hate bringing up anything of deaths, but I have seen where there is sudden deaths. I can't say sudden deaths as in someone close to you. I've seen it more with like family members that suddenly pass away, or a traumatic situation that happens so fast, so quickly. So that's more on the sad negative part. But the other negative part could be also financial situations that could create issues, possibly issues. So, now, I have seen where sometimes people do gain financially through gifts, other financial benefits, capital gains, stuff like that. So that's throughout the year. Pluto will be in your fourth house of home throughout the year. I've seen that creating sudden changes in the home. Neptune in your sixth house. Now, Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces will be in your sixth house, work, service, and health, all the way through May 9th. And then from May 10th through to October 28th will be Jupiter in your partnership house. So that could bring possible partnerships, professional or personal. It could bring engagement, marriages, collaborations. Then Jupiter will go back into your sixth house from October 29th through December 20th, and then it'll go back to the seventh house. Now, Saturn, that is currently in your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects, will be in your fifth house of love, like I said. Um, this could be a situation where there could be breakups, there could be issues with a partner, a lover, there could be even issues with children. Now, you'll probably notice that more when Saturn retrogrades from June 22nd through about October 22nd of 2022. But throughout the year, it will be in your fifth house no matter what. So it is a time also of creativity. And this could be creativity of music, movies, creative of the arts of any sorts. So that's something very positive, but during the retrograde cycle from June through October could bring separations, breakups, issues with children, issues with a partner, lover. So just something to be aware of. Now, Mars is actually going to be in your ninth house from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. Now, there will be a retrograde. That's usually Mars is only in a house for 7 weeks, in a sign in a house for 7 weeks. But because of the retrograde that starts from October 30th through January 12th, 2023, that is why it's going to be in your ninth house for so many months. So the ninth house can bring about issues with legal issues. Yes, it could relate to travel, long distance travel. It also can relate to broadening the horizon, learning new things, going back to school, entering college, universities, taking classes and courses to further your career. So it can bring about a lot of opportunities and benefits. And like I said, to study and learn a new topic of interest, go back to school to further your career. If there are any legal issues, um, just kind of expect that things could be a little bit difficult, especially during the times of the retrograde, which is from October through January 12th, 2023, from October 2022 to January 2023. So just something to be aware of. But great time if you're looking to study, to learn, go back to school, further your career, take on new classes and courses to further your career. So that's it's great. Now, Venus will be in your fourth house of home from November 6, 2021 through March 6, 2022. Usually, Venus is only in one sign for 4 weeks because there will be a retrograde cycle from December 19th, 2021 through January 28th, 2022. So, the fourth house of home usually brings a time maybe when you're looking for a new place to live, decorating or designing a home, decorating or designing a room, changing the decor in a room, maybe buying new furniture, new home accessories. During the retrograde cycle, the only thing I would suggest is if you can, try to avoid purchasing like a home or moving during the time of a retrograde cycle, which again is from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022. Only because when you're making major purchases like that, you don't want to run into a situation where you have bigger problems. So that might be maybe the only little concern that I would have for you. It's a good time for looking, maybe shopping around for a home, maybe looking to see what would work best for you. But if you can, to maybe not make any final agreements during the retrograde cycle, try to do your best to ignore that time period. So there's definitely going to be a lot of activity going on during that time with all that. The home is obviously going to be highlighted. Definitely, you want to be focusing on that. Um, During this year, 2022, there's besides, Saturn, there are going to be some love and relationship dates that I have for you. But right now, what I'm going to be focusing on more will be the eclipses. The eclipses that we're going to have throughout the year are going to fall in Scorpio and Taurus. So, Taurus, as I was mentioning earlier, with Uranus in the eighth house, falls in your eighth house. So, when you have eclipses and then Uranus, there could be abrupt, sudden changes. Again, I cannot say if it's going to be good or bad. Sometimes a full moon eclipse, which as a matter of fact, you will have one on November 8th, can bring about changes. But then on a full moon eclipse on May 16th, that will be in Scorpio opposing. Scorpio is in your second house of earned income, the money house, but opposing, in other words, the opposite in your eighth house. That can also be another significant abrupt change. This could go in the direction of sudden losses, then it could go in the direction of sudden gains. So, some things to kind of be aware of. Now, the only thing that I would say, if anything, is if you can in any way, try to focus on, if you can in any way, try to focus on, you know, building the financial stability and security there. You're going to have a new moon eclipse in your eighth house on April 30th. Very positive because it connects well with Venus and Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter is in your sixth house of work, service, and health. So this could be great opportunity. Now, each eclipse will last the energy of 6 months. So each eclipse has the energy to last 6 months. So the next 6 months can bring about great opportunities for you to make money through bonuses, commissions, capital gains, other great opportunities to make more money, build more stability and security. Um, and then a new moon eclipse in your second house of earned income will fall on October 25th. Yes, it will oppose Uranus in your eighth house, but the only difference with this one is because it involves a second house of earned income in a new moon eclipse, this could bring about positive financial changes. This could also create a situation where you may not be wanting to move. You may not be wanting to make these changes, but the opportunity will be there for you to make these changes. And even if you're not ready to do it, it could be that there's an opportunity that brings in more money, more opportunity, more stability, more security for the long term. And this could create great long-term financial security for you. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out for. Now, like I said, so you're going to have a new moon eclipse in your eighth house on April 30th, positive eclipse that connects very well with Venus and Jupiter. So that's a positive indication of opportunity, money, financial stability, security, possible success, and great opportunities there for you. So that's a great time to launch maybe a business opportunity, start a new job, receive a promotion, advancement, or a raise. So definitely keep an eye on that new moon eclipse. And then you're also going to have a full moon eclipse on November 8th um, that connects well with Uranus, but it is a full moon. So this could bring about, sudden opportunities and changes. A full moon eclipse in your second house will fall on May 16th. Again, an opportunity of making more money. And a new moon eclipse on also on your second house on October 25th. So even though those oppose Uranus, but this can bring about sudden opportunities and changes. So I did want to give you just a few career and financial dates that stand out for me, and that's February 8th, February 16th, February 17th, and May 18th. So those days stand out. The eclipses are going to be the most significant of opportunity that really stands out for you. And throughout the year brings about opportunity of money, financial opportunities. Uh, Sometimes I've even seen it where the opportunities are there, but it's up to you if you want to take it or not. So nothing is saying that you have to do it, but it's an opportunity for you to take it if you want to. So the energy is looking very, very positive with all that and great opportunities to build, like I said, financial stability and security for the long term. So definitely keep an eye on those dates. The eclipses are excellent there for you, even if there's a little shakiness there. Now, if anything, I have more concern with the Mars retrograde for you and the Venus retrograde for you than these eclipses, as kind of shaky as they can be sometimes. I feel they provide more positive energy for you than what the Venus retrograde and the Mars retrograde will have. So there's definitely a lot going on with that. So keep an eye on those, and they definitely have a lot going on. So next, we're going to be discussing the love and relationship for the year and dates to look forward to. So when it comes down to love and relationships, I think the only thing that really stood out for me was about Saturn, as I was mentioning earlier. Saturn being in your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects. That the only time is during the retrograde cycle between June 2022 and October 2022. Um, I do. I will give you some love and relationship dates to keep an eye out for that I think would be significant for you. That would be um, March 5th, April 1st, April 7th, May 28th, July 23rd, August 14th, August 18th, um, October 14th, and October 22nd. Those are the only dates that I was able to find that are significant. Now, of course, when I do the monthly horoscopes, I will provide you with more dates and, more kind of more thoroughly there. But at least throughout the year, those are the ones that really stood out for me. I think because with the Saturn in your fifth house, now remember, you're also going to have Jupiter in your partnership house from May through October of 2022. So that can bring about, like I said, partnerships, relationships, engagements, marriages. Um, but with Saturn in the fifth house, that could also bring about someone in your life that you might even see as like a parental figure, or that could be older than you, or even younger than you, that you may be the parental figure for them. Now, everything else that I keep getting here seems to be looking pretty positive, like I said, with love and relationships. I think because it's mainly going to be about finances for you and financial opportunities that you may kind of feel like not much is going on with love and relationships there. But I do feel, like I said, that there's definitely significance going on with Jupiter, with Saturn, And there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunities here for you that are going to be looking positive. I think where you're going to notice it more so will be later on in the year, especially like around let me see what dates stand out. Again, July 23rd, August 14th, August 18th, and August 28th. Around those times, and October 14th are the times that I think are really significant for love, relationships, commitments, building relationships. If you are already in a relationship, maybe this could be a time to work out any issues or problems with a partner or someone close to you. So, those are the dates that I would say to keep an eye out for. The big one is really going to be about finances, career. Like I said, yes, there could be the opportunity of building a partnership or even a collaboration that could be very significant for the long term and could even be more effective for your career if anything else. So I would say keep an eye on those dates. It's looking great. The big one will be with the finances. Keep an eye when I put out the monthly horoscopes and the weekly horoscopes, and I'll give you more daily, weekly details of what to expect for that month. But right now, there's a lot going on. Financially can be very positive and productive. But definitely keep an eye because there's going to be a lot of activity going on there for you. Scorpio. So the theme of the year is mainly going to be about the partnership marriage house. So first, let me go over some of the planets and what you can expect for the year. Uranus is going to be in your partnership house, the house of marriage, joint partnerships, like a marriage or a business partner throughout the year. Now, I have seen when Uranus is in the seventh house, it could bring sudden marriages, quick marriages, but it could also bring separations, breakups, and divorces. So it just depends on what's going on at the time. Now, Neptune is currently in your fifth house along with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, the fifth house is the house of love, friend, love, relationships, children, and creative projects. Jupiter is currently also in the fifth house till May 9th. Then Jupiter will enter your sixth house of work, service, and health from May 10th through October 28th. Then it will return back to your fifth house on December 20th. It will return back into your fifth house from October 29th through December 20th. So there's definitely a lot of activity going on with that. Now, I do want to mention two things very quickly. We're going to have Mars and Gemini, which will be in your eighth house, joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans from August to the end of the year. Actually, it will be from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. The reason why it's going to be so long or for so many months is because there will be a retrograde cycle from October 30th, 2022 through January 12th, 2023. Now, anytime you're dealing with Mars in the eighth house can bring about issues with joint resources, taxes, credit cards, and loans, joint financial obligations, financial benefits, financial opportunities there. If you are going through a divorce or separation, this could be the dividing of assets and fighting over the dividing of assets. You're also going to have a Venus in your third house of short trips, communication, siblings, and neighbors from November 6, 2021 through March 6, 2022. Reason why it's going to be for so long is because it will be retrograding from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022. So the third house is communication, siblings, neighbors, vehicles, computers, cell phones, telephones. So there could be some issues in relation to that. I would highly suggest if you can avoid purchasing a vehicle, computer, cell phone, or telephone during the retrograde cycle, as you might end up with a lemon. You might end up with a lemon or a vehicle that ends up with many repairs in the process. So let's discuss about the eclipses. Now you're going to have a new moon eclipse on April 30th in your partnership house. You're also going to have a full moon eclipse on November 8th, also in your partnership house. So the partnership, also you're going to be having Uranus in there. This could bring about marriages, divorces, separation, maybe new relationships, new commitments. Now, on October 25th, you will have a new moon eclipse in your own sign and house. On May 16th, you'll have a full moon eclipse in your own sign and house. The year is very significant for you. This could bring love relationships, commitments, serious relationships, like I said, marriages, business partnerships. Now, this could also be a time where it brings about new changes for yourself. Now, yes, this could bring about like a divorce, or maybe you decide to separate and move on your own. This doesn't have to be a separation of a partner, as in a marriage partner. This could be the separation of someone like moving away from the parents, moving away from the home, moving away from someone that's been close to you. And maybe you decide this is a time for me to make a change for myself. And this is a time for you to decide to move on to where you want to be at for yourself. And yes, it could bring about significant changes for you. I've seen, yes, where people get married, but also seen where people get divorced. I've seen where people decide to leave one relationship for another relationship. So this is actually also going to be a time of maybe even criticisms or of your own critique or others critiquing you. And I usually notice this with people who are out in the public or deal with, where you get maybe ratings and feedback. It doesn't necessarily have to be, it could be for a store you own. It could be you yourself. Maybe you're providing a service and you have to get rated and be provided feedback. And when you're out in the public, this could be an indication of how people perceive you. So that's kind of something also that the eclipse can easily affect. Now, each eclipse lasts 6 months. So, like I said, the significant ones of your partnership house that could bring about serious connections there and relationships and marriage. April 30th for the new moon eclipse, November 8th for the full moon eclipse, October 25th for an eclipse in new moon in your sign, and a full moon eclipse in your sign on May 16th. A lot going on there for the year. This is very significant for you. And I feel this can bring about a lot of opportunities. Like I said, maybe somebody that you meet that eventually leads to a marriage or a serious commitment at the end. This could be significant. Now, I do have a few love and relationship dates for you to keep an eye out for. Um, I would start with March 2nd, March 5th, March 13th, March 22nd, um, April 18th, April 30th, May 5th, May 18th, June 11th, August 1st, September 11th, November 5th, and November 20th. Keep an eye on all those dates. Now, when I do the monthly horoscopes, I will be able to really get more into detail of these dates and other dates that I'll find as the year progresses. But for right now, keep an eye on these dates. If you have to save this video for you to go over these dates or write them down, um, and then mark them on your calendar and see what significance brings for you. It could bring a new relationship, a marriage, a child, a commitment of some sort. It could be a business partnership, a business commitment of some sort. Very significant to keep an eye out for. There's definitely a lot of activity there. And I feel this could easily, like I said, bring about a new love or a great connection for you. Now, the home will be very quickly. I just want to point out the home is highlighted on May 28th and April 14th. So I don't know if this brings about like a relocation, maybe changes in the home, maybe, buying furniture, home accessories. Maybe somebody moves in or someone moves out of the home. So definitely keep an eye on those two dates. Now, as I was going back and saying that, with the Venus retrograde from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022, it's in your third house. So if you can avoid purchasing a vehicle during that time, I've just seen too many people have too many issues with a vehicle when they purchase it during a retrograde cycle. If you can do your best to avoid it, purchasing a vehicle at that time, you will save yourself a lot of headaches in the future. So, next, we're going to discuss career and finances that I feel are going to be significant for you for the year. Now, I don't have too many career and financial dates for you, as a big portion, I would say like 70% of the year is going to be about commitments and relationships and marriages and partnerships and so forth. But I do want to point out just a couple things to keep an eye out for. Remember, like I was telling you about Mars and Gemini in your eighth house, that will bring about a retrograde between October 30th, 2022 to January 12th, 2023. Remember, like I was saying, that this could bring about issues with dividing of assets, maybe having to make financial decisions relating to children, like child support, alimony, selling furniture, selling a home, especially if you are going through a breakup or a divorce. This could also bring issues with credit. Maybe you rack up credit. Maybe you have credit issues. And this is something to keep an eye out. Now, Mars will be in your eighth house from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. So this is very significant. I would say if you can monitor your credit, especially during the retrograde cycle, as you may have credit issues or unexpected errors during that time. Now, I did want to point out some financial dates that I did find for you. May 29th, July 1st, uh, November 29th and December 1st, December 3rd, December 12th. Um, Keep an eye. Okay, so I already mentioned about the Mars retrograde. Now, Jupiter will be going into your sixth house of work, service, and health between May 10th through October 28th before re entering your fifth house again. And then in 2023, it will be mainly in your sixth house. So that could bring about jobs, opportunities to make more money, bonuses, commissions, sales, um, more money, and more financial opportunities there for you. It could easily attract work opportunities and work projects. So that's a really positive time. And like I said, opportunities to make more money. So there's definitely going to be a lot going on. I think maybe the only, focus I would have was with that Mars in the eighth house. That will probably be the only thing to really keep an eye out for. Obviously, I'll discuss more of this later on in the year. But right now, just remember from August 2022 through about March of 2023, you have that Mars in your eighth house. So that's, if you can go to some astrology sites to read up about Mars in the eighth house, that could give you a good idea of what to expect. But right now, like I said, there's a lot going on. Financially, you may have some obligations to take care of. So just be prepared for that. And we'll discuss more throughout the year. All right, Sagittarius. So, the activity, at least for everything that I keep getting for you for the year, it's not going to be too much in regards to with love and relationship. There was a lot more going that with relationships, partnerships, marriages last year versus this year of 2022. It's going to be more about your health and well-being. Now, first, let me go over some of the uh, big planets and what to expect throughout the year. So Uranus will be in your sixth house of work, service, and health. Now, a lot of times when I see Uranus in the sixth house, a lot of times I notice it as people who, let's say, if they're having a regular routine work schedule, that they now want to be more independent. And a lot of that could just be working from home, maybe having the flexibility to work at home and then work in the office when they need to go in. So maybe that kind of flexibility. The flexibility could also just be having more ability to control your own work schedule or even going independent, like starting your own business. Jupiter is in your fourth house of home all the way to May 9th. Then it will enter your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects from May 10th through May 28th. So that's going to be a time of, maybe meeting somebody new, falling in love, finding love, obviously spending time with children, also getting involved in uh, music, movies, getting into artistic and creative abilities there. So getting involved in sports and hobbies, possibly even gambling. It just depends what's going on there. And then it will re enter your fourth house of home again from October 29th through December 20th. So, obviously, any home related issues will most likely come about again after October 29th. So, Saturn will be in your third house all year. That's with communication and travel. Pluto will be in your second house all year, obviously relating with finances. Neptune will be in your fourth house of home all year. Now, Mars is actually going to be in your partnership house from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. And obviously, the reason why it's going to be there for so long is because we will be having a retrograde that will start from October 30th through January 12th, 2023. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, just kind of know that I've seen many times arguments, divorces, separations, breakups. I've seen arguments, divorces, separations, breakups, and this could easily create big problems. So, just giving you a little warning. Retrograde, a Mars retrograde in the partnership marriage house does not help a situation. So, just kind of letting you know. Now, Venus will be in your second house of earned income from November 6, 2021 through March 6, 2022. Again, reason for that is because there will be a retrograde cycle from December 19th, 2021 through January 28th, 2022. Now, when we are dealing with something of Venus in the second house, like I said before, Venus in the second house can not only bring you and make you money, but you will also spend it lavishly or carelessly. Even though a lot of times I've seen people that, Venus in the second house, you're thinking more about investing and the long term. I give a big, big warning to everyone. Be careful about buying anything during a Venus retrograde, whether it's a vehicle, any kind of big purchase, like a house, just because many times I've seen um, regrets during a purchase of when Venus is in the second house, retrograding in the second house. Again, a retrograde for Venus in the second house is from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022. So if you can avoid major purchases during that time, I would say you're most likely saving yourself headaches in the future. Like I've seen many times people purchase a vehicle that ends up being a lemon because they bought it during a Venus retrograde. Um, I don't want to say that, hey, sometimes circumstances occur, it's hard to avoid, and you just have no choice. Then again, it might be a situation that what you end up purchasing at that time was just whatever was available and it wasn't the best inventory at that time. So just things to be aware of during that Venus retrograde and then with the Mars retrograde. But like I said, talk about that later on. Now, I do want to talk about the eclipses. So I'm going to put the eclipses all together um, because this can really relate to things that are going to be going on around you. So the series of eclipses are going to be in Taurus and Scorpio. For you, it falls in your 12th house and your 6th house. Remember, I was saying that Uranus is currently in the 6th house and Scorpio is your 12th house. So the 12th house is with bad habits, issues, any cleansing, it's the discarding, getting rid of. Okay, so the 12th house, I always have, time to discard or get rid of unhealthy habits or people from your life. The 6th house is more about your health and well being. Now, the 6th house also relates to um, work projects, an increase of work. Some people have used the explanation of lateral kind of jobs or lateral moves of a job. So, not really advancing, but just maybe taking on another job that maybe it increases your finances a little bit, but not by much. So, these aren't big promotions. The 12th house can be related with work, but this could be more privately, more independently. So, first, let me give you the series of dates for the eclipses. So, for the 6th house, you have a new moon eclipse on April 30th and a full moon eclipse on November 8th. Now, the 12th house, you have a new moon eclipse on October 25th and a full moon eclipse on May 16th. So, one of the things that I would want to point out is that this could be a time to see an increase of tasks, projects, work and work opportunities. But this is also a time where I think it will actually help you to kind of really focus on what it is that you're looking to accomplish for yourself. And this could actually even be a time. So, for instance, if you're looking to maybe start writing a book or putting a project together, that many times you need more of that privacy, that independence. Um, any collaborations where you're doing it more behind the scenes than being in front of, where everybody knows is what you're doing, kind of thing. This could also be a time where I've noticed a lot of people do like business ventures, business projects. And if you're looking maybe to start a business, that you may be kind of putting all the details together, doing the research, connecting with people, contacting people to really see what do I need to do in order to put this together. Yes, the other half is your health and well-being. This could be a time to exercise, to lose weight, to take care of your health and well-being, to put more emphasis on what you need to do to be stronger. And if you need to go to the doctor, or if you've been neglecting going to the doctor, then you might start to feel that now is the time to focus on taking care of yourself and your health and your well-being, whether it's exercising, losing weight, eating healthier, going to the doctor. This could be even the possibility of going to the doctor to take care of someone else's well-being, like a parent, an elderly parent, if you're helping somebody out to take care of themselves, or even getting involved in like home care and daycare. So the 12th house and the 6th house could be, for instance, home care services, maybe for senior citizens, the elderly, or those that just need, you know, any kind of care, um, like rehabbing or physical rehab, things like that. That could be, for instance, if you start your own mobile services for nursing, or if you're more of a nurse that needs more work, that maybe you take on home care services, things like this that could easily help you to maybe build your own independent income, your own independence. So this could actually be an interesting time for your career. So that's definitely one of the things that I feel is really significant with these eclipses that could really go a long way for you. Now, there are significant career dates that I did want to point out, and I do have a lot of dates for that. So, one of the things that I did want to mention here, okay, so I mentioned about Venus in the second house. Yes, great opportunities for more money. But remember, like I said, be careful when purchasing anything big because you may have regrets later on. Mars in the sixth house from July 5th through August 20th, another great time to work hard for the money. Um, so here are some career dates to keep an eye out for: January 5th, January 8th, January 28th, February 11th, February 16th. Um, February 16th, keep an eye on February 16th because there is a full moon during that time. So that could bring about 2 weeks of opportunities and more money and building more security. Maybe you start getting things going during that time. Uh, the 16th, the 17th, February 23rd, February 24th, March 3rd, and March 17th, April 17th, June 10th, July 10th, and July 13th, August 1st, and December 22nd. So if you um, didn't catch all the dates, either save this video so you have, this video for reference, or write them down and just put them in a calendar, save them up. Now, throughout the year, obviously, when I do the monthly horoscopes, I'll give even more dates and more details. But those are very significant because they do bring about great opportunities for money, for more job opportunities, to build more financial security and stability for yourself. And this could be great for the long term. So I really feel that with these eclipses, they're going to give you a nice little boost, that it's like, hey, maybe it's time for you to do things a little bit more independently. Uranus is in your sixth house all year, and Uranus loves to create independence. Independence or just being able to have more rights to say, I want to do some things my way versus following someone else's lead or someone else telling me what to do and how to do it. So, this could really create a situation for you to say, this time I'm going to do things my way and do it the way I want to do it. And it gives me more schedule flexibility, especially if you have children or just want to be more independent. So, there's definitely a lot going on with that. Now we're going to be talking about love and relationships. Now, I didn't get too many love and relationship dates, I think because everything's with work and career and finances, but I did find a few that stand out for me, including April 2nd, May 29th, October 13th, October 14th, October 18th, December 1st, December 8th, and December 29th. Again, as the year goes, I'll be able to, find more dates for you and for the monthly horoscopes. But those are the ones that really stood out. Now, again, going back to Mars in your partnership house. So let me rephrase again that Mars will be in your seventh house from August 21st through March 25th, 2023. It will retrograde October 30th through January 12th, 2023. I've seen divorces, separations, breakups, arguments that lead to, like I said, these breakups and divorces, and they don't end up good. If you are going through a separation or divorce, this could be a time where it gets a little ugly and you're going through divorce proceedings and trying to deal with the dividing of assets and all that. So it could be like I said, it could get a little dirty during that time. Um, I hope, if anything, if you are in a serious committed relationship, that you're just having discussions and communicating. And if you have to do any kind of counseling or therapy, maybe to try to work things out, that'd be great. If you are in a great committed relationship and everybody's getting along, this could also just be a time of having more open communication. Now, it doesn't have to be on personal relationships. This can also be business work relationships. This could be a business partner, an employee, a client, a customer, someone that you work closely with. Your disagreements, your arguments could be more with them. And it could be learning how to get along and how to collaborate and work with them to be able to move forward. And this could be great, especially if you do need to work through some of these issues with them. So, this is actually a time where it can bring about a lot of discussions, collaborations, working together, or it could easily create, like I said, hey, it's time to go about our own separate ways, especially if you are like in a joint business partnership and maybe everyone's just not getting along with each other. It might just be time where everybody goes their own separate ways. So, there's definitely a lot going on. A lot of it is with work and creating your own independence and focusing on where you want to be at in the future, taking care of yourself and your well being. There's a lot going on, and this can actually bring about opportunities for you to take care of you. Again, there's a great time financially to really make some money when Venus enters your second house starting November 6th of this year. But just be careful of that Venus retrograde from December 19th, 2021 through January 28th, 2022. So everything else, has a lot of opportunity there. Some things, yes, to be aware of with the Mars retrograde, but everything else is going to be pretty active and looking pretty good. So I would say just hang in there and know there's a lot to look forward to. Capricorn. All right, so there's definitely going to be a lot going on here, especially with your career and finances. That's definitely going to be a big one. But let me first go over with some of the major planets here. You have Uranus in your fifth house. The fifth house is love life, children. I've seen where people have unstable relationships or maybe even date people that live far away. issues with children. I can't say exactly what the issues will be, or maybe issues in connection to maybe their mental health. So that could relate to that too. Neptune will be in your third house of short trips and communication, possibly short trips travel to places near water. Jupiter will be in your third house of short trips, communication, siblings, and neighbors, all the way through May 9th. Then it will enter your fourth house of home from May 10th through October 28th before returning one last time to your third house from October 29th through December 20th. Saturn will be in your second house of earned income all year. So, dealing with finances, maybe even feeling restricted with your finances too. Pluto will be in your first house, your own sign in house throughout the year. Now, Mars will be in your sixth house from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. And the only reason, usually Mars is only in one sign for 7 weeks, but the reason why I will be there for literally almost 7 months because of a Mars retrograde, and that will occur from October 30th, 2022 through January 12th, 2023. And that will be in your sixth house of work, service, and health. So there definitely could be issues related with work, with your health and well-being. So it just kind of depends again what's going on. Now Venus will be in your own sign and house from November 6th, 2021 through March 6th. Wait, from November 6th, 2021 through March 6th, 2022. There will be a Venus retrograde from December 19th, 2021 through January 28th, 2022. So that could easily create issues with, things that are going on around you, maybe your own personal well being, maybe issues connected to others. So now we're going to discuss the eclipses. So there's going to be a set of four eclipses. Actually, we just had one back in November, um, but we're also in November and December. But we're going to see four eclipses throughout the year, and it's a series of eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio. So the ones in your fifth house, remember I was saying Uranus is in your fifth house. So the ones in your fifth house will occur. There's going to be a new moon eclipse on April 30th and a full moon eclipse on November 8th. Now remember, Uranus is in your fifth house. So each eclipse lasts 6 months. This could create, yes, a new love life, love and relationships, meeting somebody new, but it could also create disruptions in your love life. Maybe the person lives afar. Maybe there's the unstable type of relationship, the in and out, going in and out, being indecisive. Maybe someone is not. Uh, really looking for commitments. That's the other thing too that I want you to recognize is that having Uranus in any sign usually it creates a sense of independence and freedom in the sign that it's in. So if this is your fifth house, it's either you or the other person wants to not be committed or doesn't want the seriousness of a committed relationship. So just kind of be aware of that. This could create endings and new beginnings or unstable relationships. Maybe you're just out there dating and looking to meet new people, especially if you just went through a breakup or divorce. This could also be issues with children, and this could actually relate to maybe issues with them. Or I've also seen highly intelligent, even to the point of geniuses, children. So, if sometimes what you may not recognize it, but for instance, if your child gets bored very easily in school, I would say look to see if maybe they need to be in a higher level, if they need to be in a higher level mentally for their education. Because sometimes um, a child can, their minds just work a lot faster that the present way of teaching may not be their way of teaching for them to process the regular lessons and so forth. So maybe look into that. but this could really create a high intelligence in children. Um, that could be a situation that maybe you want to focus on to see if a child needs, like I said, a different form of teaching. Um, but definitely, it could also be a time to get into sports and hobbies. This could be with music, movies, videos, learning a new musical instrument, maybe getting into a different type of sport or hobby. So a new way of just kind of learning different things. And like I said, maybe getting into gambling. Just be careful. Nothing is promised in the charts. Nothing is saying that you're going to win big. You might be careless too with any kind of gambling, whether it's a casino, scratchers. So just be careful with that. Now we're going to talk about the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of friendships, groups, and organizations, social groups, social gatherings. So there's going to be a new moon eclipse on October 25th and a full moon eclipse on May 16th. Again, each eclipse lasts 6 months. So it's going to be a very positive social time for you, a time to meet new people, a time to get out and get organized, but at the same time, maybe get out and build new friendships. It could even be online and on the internet through like social media events, social media apps. So now Uranus will be opposing these eclipses. So this can create maybe you kind of being open to new groups and new uh, different types of people and groups and friends that you normally wouldn't be around. This could also be them actually teaching you a new way of looking at things, and maybe you're open to it, and that's great. So it's definitely a great social time for you and a great time to build great connections. It could also be for your work. If you're looking to be networking, building connections through networking, this could be positive for your career and to build more income, maybe through building a clientele. And I've seen it with, for instance, like real estate agents still, attend events and groups and pass out their business cards, hoping maybe someone will be interested in, purchasing a house from them or selling a house from them. So it could come in many different ways. And this could bring about great connections, maybe investing if you're looking to have someone invest in your business or to maybe even partner up with you. This could be, being out there, getting involved in different events that could actually help, uh, build these connections that could build your business and bring you money in the future. So it's definitely a great social time for you and a great time where you may find yourself involved in sports, hobbies, social events, maybe concerts, movies, building, entertainment, getting involved in the entertainment industry. So that could be very significant too. Maybe your children get involved in the entertainment industry. So that'd be kind of interesting. So obviously right now maybe the main concern that I would have, actually, I'm not even too worried about the eclipses as I am about the Mars retrograde in 2022 for you because it involves your 6th house. So now we're going to discuss some love and relationship dates for you to look forward to. All right, so I do have some significant love and relationship dates for you to keep an eye out for. Now, you could either write down these dates and mark them on your calendar, or just save this video so you can always use it as a way to look back and track back any dates that you might have missed. But I would say, just in general, just save this video just for reference for the future. All right, so some of the dates that I did find for you are January 1st, January 8th, um, February 8th, February 17th, April 17th and May 5th. Let me see here. August 14th and August 16th. What I like about August 14th and August 16th is it kind of represents like taking a short trip. And this could be either to go visit somebody or maybe you travel with someone. Maybe it could just be to a lake, to get out of town for the day. So keep an eye on those days for that. February 17th is also another day for like a short trip too. Um, Let me see, March 5th, May 18th, May 22nd. Okay, then July 17th, December 17th, and December 22nd, and December 31st. Okay, I'm trying to see here. Okay, so definitely significant days for your love life and relationships and so forth. And I really do like that it's very significant for maybe meeting somebody. The other thing, too, um, it kind of standing out also possibly to meet somebody through either the internet, social media, a social app, or maybe a dating app. It doesn't really look like it would be about meeting somebody the old-fashioned way, like, I went to the grocery store and I ran into somebody there, or I was on a plane ride and I ran into somebody there. Possibly. I don't wanna cross out those possibilities there, but it just seems stronger through, like, the internet, social media, dating app than the old-fashioned way. So, definitely keep an eye on those dates. Um, the love life is significant next year, like I said, with those eclipses. Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty good. So I think it'll definitely be a great time if you are out there dating and looking to meet somebody, that there would easily be somebody to meet and to build a relationship. Now, no guarantee that this would lead to a long-term committed relationship. So that's the only thing, maybe the only disclaimer that I would put out there. No guarantee that this would be the long-term partner. So just wanted you to just be aware of that. Now, I did want to point out some career and financial dates for you. So remember, like I was telling you about the Mars retrograde and Mars being in your sixth house for about 7 months. With the retrograde cycle, that would be hitting from, let me go over those dates again. The retrograde from October 30th, 2022 to January 12th, 2023. So the sixth house, it's the working hard for the money, maybe even working for the same amount of pay. And this could create issues with employees, clients, customers, coworkers, and this could easily create disruptions, disagreements, arguments, friction, obstacles, maybe even quitting a job because it's not going about the way you would like it to. There could be easily issues that could make you decide to want to go independent and go more on your own. Um, there could also be health related issues. I can't say what these issues would be. If there are any health related issues, you may decide to lose weight, eat healthier, look over your health and well being. Maybe time to go to the doctor. Maybe take care of any issues relating to your own well being. So maybe it's just the time to just be more on top of your health. And if you're suffering through any kind of stress or anxiety because of work, maybe you decide to cut back on your hours of work. So it's just more about stuff like that that could actually even help you to be healthier and stronger and more livelier, and just happier at the end. Now, here are some financial dates for you to look forward to. Okay, there's January 23rd, February 4th, March 6th. Um, hmm. Let me see here. I also like May 29th, August 28th, September 28th, October 13th. So these are very significant dates for you. Um, I feel that the May 29th date might relate to the home. Maybe this is working from home. Maybe you decide to start a business from home. So keep an eye on that date for that time period. Um, I kind of feel that the dates that I gave you are significant for your career. Now, throughout the year, as I'm doing the monthly horoscopes, I'll be able to pinpoint even more dates for your career and finances, but these are the ones that really stood out to me, at least for now, that could really bring about great opportunities, more money, opportunities to change jobs and build more financial security for the long term. So it looks very positive for you to do well financially and opportunities that would be there. Now, the only time period that you may not like is that Saturn's in your second house throughout the year. This can create what I would call restrictions financially, like not being able to get a raise, or your promotions aren't as significant as you'd like them to be, or maybe you don't even see a promotion or a raise. Um, this could easily put you in a tough situation where you may kind of feel stuck at work, that you would like to advance, but yet you're just maybe nothing's coming up at the moment, or every job you've applied to for a raise to make more money just doesn't come through. Little things like that that could create delays and obstacles, but that's only for a short period of time. It doesn't help. Mars in your sixth house, that creates those restrictions too. So with the career and finances, might only be the only part that you may not be completely happy with. Um, the love life is looking great, but there might be some delays or restrictions. So I would say just don't give up. If you feel like things aren't moving forward for the moment, it's just for right now. Do know that there will be opportunities there that are going to improve for you. It's just things may feel a little slow at the moment, but it will pick up. And just keep staying forward, keep focusing, build those connections that could help you for the long term. All right, Aquarius. So I there's going to be a lot going on for your career, probably more than anything else. It might seem a little sad. There is going to be things involved with love and relationships, but I want to just very quickly go over some of the bigger planets and their transits and what to expect for the year, at least for some of these planets. For instance, like Uranus is going to be in your fourth house throughout the year. So usually, when I associate Uranus in the fourth house, I usually associate it as could be quick changes in the home. I've seen people where they sell a house so fast that then they have to go find a new house or a new place to live all within like 2 weeks, or they're constantly moving around. So shifts in the home, disruptions in the home could also be disruptions with like electronics and so forth. So that's going to be going on for the fourth house. Neptune will be in your second house of earned income, Saturn in your first house. So that'll be Saturn's currently in your own sign in house. So this is a time of maturity, focusing on yourself, things that you feel you've lost out on that you have not, uh, co- that you don't feel you have accomplished. You're going to put focus on that. For instance, when I see a Saturn in the first house, many times people go back to school or take classes and courses to further their career. Some people go back to school, maybe whether it's to get a bachelor's, master's, things like that. So, and also focusing on what you need to do in order to make changes within yourself or for what you want to accomplish in the future for yourself. Um, Jupiter will be in your second house all the way through May 9th, and then it will enter your third house from May 10th through October 28th before going and returning back to your second house from October 29th through December 20th. So when it's in the second house, a lot of times you may notice opportunities to make money, but then you may easily spend it. You may freely be spending the money, but you may also be looking at it as a way of investing. When it goes into the third house, you may notice an increase of communication, travel, short trips, also communication through emails, text messages, and phone calls. This could also be a time where you connect more with family and friends, especially cousins, aunts, and uncles. So, and like I said, the second house is opportunities of making money, bringing in more money, and all opportunities to build more financial opportunities there. Pluto will be in your 12th house for the rest of the year. Okay. So I want to talk about the eclipses. The eclipses are going to be in your career house and your fourth house of home. Now, the two that are going to be in your career house are going to come about on October 25th and May 16th. So these eclipses each last 6 months. And this could bring about career opportunities for the long term. It could bring about changes. It could bring also about opportunities and ways to be more independent. For instance, maybe working more remotely or creating your own schedule. This could also become a time where you look to want to do something more independently for yourself, like start a business, maybe do more contract work or work, like I said, more on your own in your own schedule versus working for like a company, for instance. There could be shifts in your career or career changes, and this could bring about quick, swift changes too. So you may change a job, and then 2 weeks later, you're starting a whole new other job. Um, this can bring about opportunities for more money. It also can bring about just changes and doing something more for yourself and what's going to make you happy. Now, the fourth house of home, something you want to keep an eye out for, and the two eclipses that you want to focus on will fall on April 30th and November 8th. So, the fourth house of home, it's could be a time for you to relocate, renovate, make changes around the home. Again, this could be a time where you decide to make changes for yourself. This could take about a time where you decide to relocate for like a new job or a new job opportunity. And so it takes you into another city or another state. Now, this could also be a time where some of these changes could involve you working from home. And I've seen this a lot, especially in this last year, where now people have the ability to where they're creating like a home office or the ability to do their work from home or just work from their home just in general. So this could actually bring about great opportunities for more money, more stability, more security for the long term. And I did want to give you some quick financial and career dates for you to keep an eye out for, since the home can also be affected, but your career is going to be big here. Keep an eye on February 17th, March 2nd, March 23rd, and also keep an eye from April 5th through May 3rd as again an opportunity of building more financial security and stability for yourself. And May 9th is also looking good because, Jupiter being in your second house. So, one of the big things that I keep getting with these eclipses. Now, I did want to mention every eclipse, the energy of every eclipse lasts 6 months. So, again, the career eclipses are going to be on May 16th and October 25th. This could bring about great opportunities for the long term to build more financial stability for yourself and more money or opportunities to make more money. So, and this could actually be great for you because I think this is actually even going to bring about times of change. And sometimes we're put in a situation where it's about what do I want for myself? And sometimes they're kind of pushed into a direction or a situation that maybe you weren't ready for. But those changes just put you in a situation where maybe you kept saying, I'm going to do this, but then you don't do it. And finally, you do take those great chances and you do it and look at the opportunities there. So, your career is going to be the main highlight there for the rest of the year. Again, with the home career eclipses, there's a new moon eclipse on April 30th and a full moon eclipse on November 8th. So, 6 months for each eclipse that can bring about changes. Now, these eclipses actually connect well with Uranus, and Uranus likes to create some like jolts of energy to make you do something. And if you don't do it, then it could easily put you in a situation where you may feel like, if I don't make these changes, could these changes, hold me back? And I feel like a lot of times eclipses do bring, like I said, those jolts to push you to do something you weren't ready to do. And yes, sometimes they work against you, many more times they work for you. Now, I did want to discuss some love and relationship dates for you. And then also with the two retrogrades that are going to be coming up. So, love and relationship dates to keep an eye out for are August 11th, August 14th, September 1st, September 16th, September 28th, October 13th. Keep an eye actually from October 13th through October 18th, um, October 20th, November 5th, November 19th, and November 30th. Also, I want to add December 3rd and December 22nd. All those dates are significant for love and relationships. Now, throughout the year, as I post my monthly horoscopes, I'll be able to give you more detailed dates for love and relationships and for finances too. And I will include more dates on there. But these are just some of the dates that I was able to kind of pick out that really stood out for me. If you're kind of wondering about these dates, either save this video or write down the dates. Write them down and then maybe mark them on your calendar and just kind of keep an eye and see what happens around those times on those date frames. So, a couple things that I did want to point out. So, we're going to have Mars in your fifth house of love, children, and creative projects from August 21st from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. Usually Mars is only in one sign for 7 weeks. But this time it's going to be for like about 7 months. And the reason behind that is because we're going to have a Mars retrograde from October 30th, 2022 through January 12th, 2023. This is in your fifth house. Fifth house rules love, children, and creative projects. Okay. So when we're dealing with the fifth house, this could bring about endings of a relationship. But the only way that's going to happen is if there have already been issues prior to the retrograde kicking in, that it creates these type of endings. It could also create issues with children. I can't say if this is maybe related with some legal issues like child custody, child support, stuff like that, or if this is something totally separate and just not connected to that. So this could also relate to love relationships, disagreements, arguments. You may notice an increase of disagreements and arguments during that time that, yes, can create the ending or a breakup. So I'm just being upfront about all the possibilities there. I think this is a warning that it's great that it could attract new love relationships if you're out there dating and looking to meet people. This could bring about a time for you to date and meet someone significant. This could also be just a social time for you to get out and meet new people, socialize, build new connections, meet up with friends, maybe find yourself going out to concerts and bars and clubs, or just going out there and being surrounded more with music and music events, movie events. So just keep an eye for that. I mean, as we get closer, I'll be able to kind of try to narrow down as much as possible what might be going on. But definitely, it's something to just be aware of. Now, Venus is going to be entering your 12th house of secrets and solitude from November 6th, 2021 through March 6th, 2022. We're going to have a Venus retrograde from December 19th, 2021 through January 28th, 2022. Okay, so when it is in your 12th house, when it's retrograding, I'm not too much of a fan of Venus in the 12th house because Venus in the 12th house can be very secretive. Now, when it retrogrades, it can easily indicate secrets are revealed. And usually, this is like secret relationships, secret love affairs, or just a secret about someone you're spending time with and dating, or about someone else. This could also lead to maybe you keeping secrets from others, or someone catches you holding back a secret. So, this can actually be a very compassionate and compromising time where you could easily be looking to help those in need or be compromising and compassionate to someone close to you, including love relationships and someone you're dating or spending time with, or like a partner, even a serious committed partner. But when the retrograde hits, I always associate it as secrets are revealed or something that maybe someone was holding back. They start to open up maybe their true feelings and start to become more open to you. Um, the way I look at it as, if you have not been really working to be more open in communication with someone, maybe during the retrograde cycle, actually makes you open up more to that person, or vice versa. They open up more to you, what has been bothering them and what they feel they've been holding back, that now they're willing to be more open to you about. Whatever the situation may be, there are opportunities to work through them, be more open, resolve any issues, and move forward. But this retrograde cycle, the Venus retrograde, again, from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022, can be tough if you don't know how to handle it and how to deal with it. And this could easily create issues and problems in the future. This can create breakups too. But I feel that this is really going to be a situation and a test for you in either relationships or how you deal with others, that can really help you to either how to manage it or how to deal with someone, that either you're going to work through it and compromise and show consideration, or you're going to feel like it's too much and maybe even time to move on. But if anything, at the least, it helps in opening up the communication and hopefully resolve any issues or problems. Pisces. So I'm going to be going over some of the main planets that are going to be with you throughout the year. So first, let's start with Uranus. That will be in your third house of short trips, communication, siblings, and neighbors throughout the year. So this is an indication of, like I said, quick short trips out of town, someplace nearby. Communication may also be kind of unpredictable at times, but this could also be a time where you even connect more with family and friends. I would associate it more with just an increase of short trips, communication, more around town, and so forth. Now, Pluto will be in your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations all year. Saturn will be in your 12th house of secrets and solitude all year. This could be a time where you may have moments of feeling kind of feeling maybe a little bit down, maybe even worried about not making enough money. A lot of times I notice of more of a feeling of maybe feeling down, not depressed, which it could create that. It just depends on what else is going on in your chart, in your birth chart. But I would say sometimes it can create more of a to worry, even if there's nothing to worry about. Um, this could create the feeling of maybe even worrying about health, or maybe starting to put more focus on your health and well-being. So there could be moments of feeling a little bit stressed or overwhelmed. Now, Neptune is currently in your own sign in house, and this would be still continuing in your first house all year. Now, Jupiter is currently also in your first sign in house, but will be there all the way through May 9th. Then it will enter your second house of earned income from May 10th through October 28th, before returning back to your first house from October 29th through December 20th. So when it's in your first house, at the time where you may feel a lot more optimistic, more positive, you may even find yourself indulging in fatty foods and sweets. When it enters your second house of earned income, I've actually noticed of greater opportunities of money coming your way through earned income, which means like a lot easier to get a job or job offer or job opportunity. And I've seen this a lot when uh, like people coming to you, whether it's uh, in future prospect employers finding you maybe through your resume and so forth, offering you a job, or like an increase of opportunities to be offered, to maybe apply for a job. um, I've noticed also a lot of times it's easier to get a job or easier to even be hired. Now the negative is you may indulge financially, and this could easily make you spend more lavishly or carelessly. You may spend more carelessly because you see it as investing or just taking greater chances and that you feel it's worth the risk. So that's up to you. But I like the part of where the financials, and it seems a lot more stronger with the financials and opportunities to make more money. So that's going to be the big ones to kind of keep an eye out for. And now, Jupiter in the second house will be from May 10th through October 28th. It will return back to the first house, but then 2023, majority of the year will be about your second house. Now, I did want to go over that you're going to have Mars in your fourth house from August 21st, 2022 through March 25th, 2023. And the reason for that is because there's going to be a Mars retrograde from October 30th, 2022 through January 12th, 2023. So, Mars in your fourth house can indicate relocating, renovating, making changes around the home, making repairs, renovations. I've also seen also a lot of times where people move for short periods of time, and I notice this when people like, let's say, for instance, you go on a place or go take a vacation, and so you're vacationing in one spot, but you're vacationing maybe for a week or even 2 weeks, but then you come back home. So it's almost like a temporary home, but it's not your permanent home. And so I've seen where people do things like this. You may also find yourself doing more work from home or working from home, or find a job where you can work remotely. Um, this is also a time where, like I said, maybe more renovations, changes in the home. There could be the possibility of arguments in the home, especially when the retrograde hits. Like I said, from October 30th, 2022 through January 12th, 2023. So just maybe something to possibly be aware of that could happen. But I would say this would bring about maybe opportunities to make some repairs or renovations around the home. This could also even be an indication of making some cleaning out the closets, cleaning out the garage, getting rid of things, being active around the home. Now, Venus will enter your 11th house of friendships, groups, and organizations from November 6th, 2021 through March 6th, 2022. Reason for that, the 11th house is friendships, groups, organizations. I always say sometimes a lover can act more like a friend or a friend turns into a lover. But it's a very positive social time just being around groups of people or just being more social and active. Now, from December 19, 2021 through January 28, 2022, Venus does retrograde. Now, it retrogrades in your 11th house. This could be the possibility of old friends, old people coming back into your life. This could be also an indication of disagreements or arguments with someone close to you, like a friend. Um, this could also be a time of a Venus retrograde. Sometimes I would say be careful because it could indicate like, you know, breaking away or maybe even ending friendships or disconnecting with friendships. But yes, I've seen old friends come back into the picture. So it's just, again, there's a variety of different things that could come from that. Usually Venus, rules love, relationships, and money. So it just kind of depends, things that have been going on for you that it could bring about issues with finances. Maybe not trying to say that's going to happen, because it's in your 11th house, a social sign house. This could just be an indication of maybe old friends coming back into the picture, possibly disconnecting with some friends or building new connections with new friends. Now, I would say maybe just kind of keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be a time also. You might even go through a time of seeing who you value as a friend. And I've seen this. I get calls about this where people kind of go through a transition. You might have had 10 friends and now all of a sudden you're down to only two. But because now in this life cycle, this new life phase or chapter in your life, who you thought was a great friend 3 years ago, 5 years ago, now they're not connecting with you anymore. So from having 10 friends, only two are now connecting with you and are now reasoning more with you or feel a greater connection to you and feel more like they align with where you're at in your life. And that's not uncommon, especially as you get older. You know, um, yes, you might build a new set of friends, and those friends connect with you in your current chapter in your life. But old friends, maybe back from high school or college years, they don't connect with you anymore, or maybe one or two of them do and others don't. And so it can kind of put you in a situation to really question, who is a friend or who do I want as a friend? Yeah. So that could be something significant to be going on here. Now we're going to be discussing the eclipses. So we're going to have four eclipses. They come in sets. And you're going to have one in your third house of short trips, communication, siblings, and neighbors. The new moon eclipse will be on April 30th, and a full moon eclipse will be on November 8th. So Uranus is also in your third house. Like I said, this could be an increase of short trips, communication, especially maybe communication with siblings and neighbors. You may also purchase a vehicle, computer, cell phone, telephone. Um, you may even get into this is another thing I noticed of taking online classes or courses, possibly maybe to further your career. Or if you're looking to get certified in something, that you may go back to school and get a certification. Um, each eclipse lasts 6 months. So we started this series of eclipse in November and December. And as we get into 2022 and 2023, it's a series that continues. So this is like a time where you might be getting into a new, different form of learning, maybe even pursuing new ways to, like I said, proceed and further your career. And this could bring about some type of education, classes, courses, or maybe even you teach classes and courses to others. Now, the next set of eclipses will fall in your ninth house of long distance trips, foreign people, and places. So, a new moon eclipse will be on October 25th, and a full moon eclipse will be on May 16th. So, this will be in your ninth house. This is the house of, like I said, taking long distance trips. Maybe others from afar come to visit you. Again, entering college or university, taking classes and courses to further your career. This could also be a time where you may even study more like the law or legal issues, doing research, broadening your horizons. And again, also the ninth house rules marketing, publishing. Maybe you are doing more of marketing for your company or just for you, or learning how to build more marketing skills for yourself. This could also be a time where you, like I said, get into just learning about new ways to further yourself in your career. And this could actually open up opportunities, like I said, to advance, build new skills. If it indicates going back to school to build on those skills or increase those skills, that could be it too. So again, each eclipse lasts 6 months. And again, we're going to go through 2022 and for a portion of 2023 when all this is going on for you. So it's about being open to new possibilities and new opportunities here. Now, before I get into the love and relationship dates and the career dates, just kind of take the understanding that there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to opening up yourself to new opportunities and new possibilities there. And I think this is actually going to help you to be open to where you can accomplish for yourself and your career future, if anything else. So throughout the year, as I do the monthly horoscopes, I'll give more dates and more explanations of more details with all this going on. But for right now, just kind of be aware of what's coming up. So now we're going to be discussing for love and relationships. So here are 11 relationship dates for you to keep an eye out for. Either mark these down or save this video on for watch later, or just save this video and you can always go back to this video for the dates or write them down so for you to have on for the future. So keep an eye on the dates of January 8th, January 11th, January 28th, uh, February 23rd, February 24th. Um, Around that time, we're going to have a new moon that definitely will affect you. And this could actually be a time around March 2nd, will be the new moon, but it connects really well with Venus and Pluto. That could be an indication of financial benefits and opportunities or business opportunities, joint ventures, could bring about great opportunities for you to build more financial stability and security. So the new moon lasts 2 weeks from March 2nd. So keep an eye on that time frame. March 13th, March 18th, September 18th, and then I have December 29th. Let me see here. Oh, November 10th, November 13th. This is a 2022, and December 29th. I did want to add, I found some other dates, including keep an eye on, let me see here. Okay, keep an eye on the dates of February 17th, um, February 17th and August 1st. So February 17th and August 1st is actually kind of significant, not just for the love life, but also on a financial level. Many times I kind of notice those that kind of energy as a way of opportunities, maybe to make more money, or maybe it could be a job offer. So, but then also it kind of hits also with the love life, social life. So it could go either way for you. Now, this is for career and finances. So remember, like I was telling you, Jupiter will be entering your second house from May 10th through October 28th, and then next year then in 2023, it'll be there for the most of the time. So that's one big one. Then also keep an eye on April 4th, May 29th, July 1st, August 18th, September 25th, October 22nd, October 26th, uh, December 1st. Keep an eye around those dates. Yeah, and December 1st. So during those times, it actually is significant. Oh, I did want to point out very quickly about the home. The only reason why I want to point out the home right now, besides just the home in general, but it could relate to your work. Like I said, nowadays that people are doing things remotely, working from home, and so forth. So keep an eye on the dates of August 21st, uh, March, August 21st, and September, no, June 22nd. Now, I also want to line that from August 21st all the way till March of 2023, and from June 22nd through July 16, 2022. There's a time frame. I'm going to say it's anywhere from June through September will relate to the home. And because I feel it's also significant with career and finances, if you are looking to find work, this could maybe give you the flexibility and the ability to work from home, or to do like a part time kind of home situation, or maybe you start a business venture, maybe to create like a work from home type business. So there's definitely a lot going on. I think that Jupiter in the second house is going to be significant for you. That could be very positive for your finances and bringing more financial opportunities and making more money. There's definitely going to be a lot of opportunity to build more financial security for yourself, and a lot to look forward to. The eclipses are going to be significant. I think possibly even for career. If not, easily you'll notice more communication, um, through emails, text messages, a greater social life, more of a social life, as in maybe building friends, connections, meeting new people, versus the love life that doesn't stand out too much for the year. Not saying it's going to be boring. It's just there's other things that you're prioritizing for 2022 that you may feel that other things are more of a priority than love and relationships. So it's pretty active. The home is also going to be big, big highlighted for you. A big portion of from August all the way to the from August 22 all the way to the end of the year, that could indicate relocating or making changes in the home. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. There's a lot of activity going on, and just remember to always check out the psychicone.com, as I'm always posting the monthly and weekly horoscopes there, so you can always check that out. And if you ever have any questions or maybe any concerns, you could always either send me a question through comments or just email me, and we can always go over and see what else comes about there for you. So hope you enjoyed these horoscopes. And like I said, keep an eye on the psychic1.com for the monthly horoscopes. Thank you and have a good day.